How's it going, fellow indie game enthusiasts? I hope you're having a wonderful day and you're ready for some roguelite-survivor awesomeness, because today we are checking out the new DLC for Nordic Ashes called Remnants of Corruption. So if you haven't played Nordic Ashes before, let's just really quickly summarize what the game is. Nordic Ashes Survivors of Ragnarok is a challenging Norse-inspired roguelite survivor game where you will have to survive hordes of creatures that come to your way. And this is pretty true for the DLC, but what we have here is a tower that we have to ascend floor by floor, and with that we are going to invoke a bunch of different new types of gods, facing challenges, increasing the corruption level, and trying to survive with a ever-changing and more difficult environment. Thank you very much, Knoxville Studios, for the key for the DLC. And without further ado, let's check out how the DLC for Nordic Ashes plays. A few days ago, I had to send back my gaming rig for some repairs, so meanwhile I dusted off my old laptop. But of course, at the time I wanted to play some newer games. Thankfully, I partnered up with Boosteroid, so I was able to play newer games on my laptop without any problems. Boosteroid is a cloud gaming service that allows you to play your favorite games on different hardwares no matter where you are. Games launch on high-end remote gaming rigs and gameplay is getting streamed to you. No additional downloads or updates, and no session time limits. To get the maximum out of Boosteroid, you will need to have a decent internet connection, and you need to have sad game in your library. If you don't have a high-end machine and you like to play newer games, Boosteroid is a really great choice for you. If you sign up through my link in the description, you also help out the channel a lot. Thank you very much, Boosteroid, for teaming up with me, and now back to the game. I played a few runs of the DLC yesterday and today, and the thing is, I invested a few corruption orbs into this tower type of structure, so we are getting 2 half-red hearts after a room if we end it, and if we have like a full HP, instead we are getting a blue heart, which is like a temporary HP. We are also earning 3 gold coins when completing a room. We are going room from room, and there is a power of corruption. When you obtain a reward relic, you can corrupt it. This will transform it into another relic of a higher rarity, but corrupted. Additionally, the previous relic will be banned during the run. So it's a pretty interesting option. If you see like relics that you don't really dig, you can corrupt one of them. You get like a more potent one, but the previously banned one is just, you know, vanishes out of existence. Also, new characters are available, and I was able to unlock Lili, and we are going to check out this character for this playthrough, because I think this is a really great opportunity to show you also how the new DLC works and a new character at the same time. So we got level 0 with the innate skill, and we can choose for level 1 something extra. When you dash, you gain dark energy. This mastery will be added to Lili's innate skill. And we got 2 corrupt hearts, which is basically another extra HP top of the normal one. So I'd like to go with the dash upgrade, because I'm a huge fan of dash in these types of games. So without further ado, check out the Tower of Corruption. We can only start this in normal, because the hard, expert, hardcore, ranking, and endless will unlock if we, complete the previous difficulty. So the basis of the game haven't changed, so it's pretty cool. Enemies are coming, we have to take them down before they take us down. There is a timer that will go off, and if we can survive that time in a specific room, we have like an opportunity to go to a next one. And of course, most of the time we can choose from 2 different rooms. I'm pretty sure with the corruption tower being completed a bit more, we will have like more rooms to choose from, but this is the classic like, 2-way corridor type of spire-like thingy. Okay, so what we can start with is a laser plushie, which is looking extremely cool. Shoots a laser that looks for enemies and can hex them. We are going to work with hex, by the way. So we got tentacles, summon tentacles that attacks nearby enemies, really great, and we got the piercing pike, throw spikes in one direction that damage and can cause bleeding. I like to check out the laser plushie because I've already done a run with it and I enjoyed it a lot, so let's just go with that one. And thanks to one of the upgrades, I can choose another relic. So let's see, Friendship Pendant, you get a hexed heart every 60 seconds. An enemy, when hexed, has a 50% chance of spreading its curse to another nearby enemy. I think we're going to go with that. And Fancy Shoes, when hexing an enemy, you have a 2.5% chance to grant a 2.5% movement speed for 2.5 seconds. 2.5% chance is pretty low, so let's just go with the 15% chance. So this is the main ability that we are using, that we are cursing those enemies thanks to that plushie. I think this is really great, really like the VFX for that, and the character is like a cheery, in a sense, more like Eastern looking thing. So if I have to guess, this is something from the Finnish side of those mythological stuff. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, hopefully not offending anyone. Okay, so these are the deities that we can choose from. We got the burning, the poisoning, and the paralyzing. Not a huge fan of burning, so we are just going to skip soul. We got Erika, which is a poisoning one. The passive, the deity attacks enemies every 3 seconds to poison them. And the passive increases the probability of poison relics significantly, and in level 1, poison enemies receive 20% more damage. Pretty awesome. So what about the paralyzed one, Andorra? The deity attacks enemies every 3 seconds to paralyze them, basically the same base like attack type. Increase the probability of electric relics, and paralyzed enemies receive 20% more damage. Huge fan of poisoning, huge fan of lightning, so I'm just going to blast lightning because I played poison like 2 times before. Okay, so these different types of rooms. This was a relic room, I went too close to it. Bit iffy, maybe it would need like a better collider for going into the room, but never mind. So laser plushie upgrade, critical chance increase, duration increase, and damage increase. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of like direct damage increase at the beginning, so I just go with the other type of upgrade because we are doing a pretty okay amount of damage by default in my opinion, so we don't really have to boost that. So paralyzed means that they stay still and they are receiving more damage thanks to that. So we got a pretty, like, you know, well-known type of enemies, like the Ratatosker type of squirrels, kind of corrupted ones. These are the rats from the first level of the game. And of course, more enemies will come. So the room reward is we can choose a relic. Brooks, Bazooka, XP Fossil, and Boomerang. If we don't like any of these, I can press R and hold it down, and then we can ban and corrupt one of these relics. But let's see what we can get. So Frozen Boomerang that returns to its owner while dealing damage. Pretty straightforward and great. Increase the experience gain and extra XP, 50%. I think we're going to go with that one. And shoot in a straight line at the nearest enemy. The fire of the shot does damage to all enemies it hits. I like to go with the fossil, not corrupting it at the moment. If we have like a chance to check out how corruption works, I will go with that one. Critical and cooldown. I'd like to decrease the cooldown as fast as possible, because if we can shoot more projectiles, to me it is just much better in a way than, you know, dealing more damage with a single or, you know, the projectiles, but we can shoot them like less. So, you know, if you disagree, or do you have like the meta type of build, let me know in the comments. But I usually play pretty unoptimized because I like to play games for the sake of fun. I know this genre is mainly about numbers, but I don't really care, to be honest. Okay, let's just decrease the cooldown a bit more. So relic room and forge room. Spend your gold to upgrade your relics. So currently we don't have too much gold, so I'd like to go and get another relic, and hopefully later on we will have like more stuff. So increase duration, increase damage. You know, let's just go get an extra damage, just to be sure. And now, this is just floor 4, and I don't know how much we have, like 50 or something like that. So after a few floors, a bunch of like smaller bosses will come. I already faced some Draugr bosses. The queen is a bit more easier than the king, so hopefully we are not getting the king immediately and we die. instantly, that would be a pretty bad luck, but we will see, of course. So there are also like elite type of enemies, just like in the base game. They spawn after a while and they try to make your life a bit harder, but the good thing is that we could take it down. Okay, so arrowhead plus some projectiles. They grant additional dash, boy, and throws a spear in your direction. We don't really need this, so I guess plus some projectile is always great. Miscellaneous room and visitor room. Obtain one relic from another survivor, which is also a really cool thing. So we could done this in the base game. If we go into the shop after like taking down all the small bosses, there was like a nice chance that we could get at least one relic from different characters. Here we have the same. I really like that, but let's just go to the miscellaneous room to get a random reward when completing the room, because random reward is usually pretty fun to have. I'd like to increase the duration of my skills, so in this case they are just out for longer, and we got the Draugr King. I kinda jinxed the whole stuff. You will see what is my problem with this guy. So shooting big balls, which is totally fine. But now, his movement speed is going to be extremely huge. And he's also chasing us by putting down these really annoying pillars. So I just try to keep my distance as much as possible, but it's not the best. So with a really cool range that Lili is having, it's pretty okay. But you know, imagine like a more melee type of character trying to take down this Draugr King. Well, I guess good luck. So now I'm just going to increase damage straight out, because we just have to get rid of this guy as soon as possible. And also with the music, they went into like a slightly more metal direction, which I really like, because you know, all the Nordic inspired orchestral music blended with some distorted guitars. It's definitely my cup of tea. I have a band that dwells in the same stuff. So extra projectiles, I'm just going to get more projectiles, and of course this is a rare upgrade, so let's go and blast some more damage. Okay, so the effect probability, attack speed, and critical. Yeah, let's just increase critical, and let's see what is the room reward. So we got a mighty bow, blue hearts 2, and shards plus 15. So different between corruption, like not runes but symbols, let's call them corruption symbols and corruption shards. We can unlock stuff with the rune or the symbol, and we can increase their levels with the shards. So there is no conversion this time, just like with the seed of Yggdrasil. Okay, blue hearts. Let's try to get and survive as long as possible. Okay, so critical increase, you know, let's just get some damage just for the sake of, like, you know, randomness. I usually go with crit, cooldown reduction, and more projectiles, and not choosing direct damage buffs as much as possible. But you know, let's just go there. Maybe I will learn something new by recording this video and having like a better progression, because we increased some of the damage stuff. Of course, the Ascension crystals are also present in the DLC, so after a while we will be able to unlock a crystal, and then we can enhance or ascend one of our main skills, which is one of my favorite part of this game. So hopefully we will get it soon. If I remember correctly, it's around the 10th floor or something. Okay, so we can change. So fossil to collector's wing, laser plushie to prism, and bad flowers to swift feather. I like to keep the plushie, by the way. So when you collect gold coins from the ground, you get plus 10 movement speed for 3 seconds, really great. And you can change it when you dash, lightning bolts fall from the sky and hit nearby enemies. I'm going to change the fossil. Armory room and shard room, so obtain one weapon when completing and obtain corrupt shards when completing the room. Let's just go for shards this time. Crit, duration, and damage, let's just go with more crit. And as you can see, the time that we have to survive increasing gradually, so now it's 50 seconds we have to survive, more than a minute, and all the cool stuff. Okay, let's just increase some projectile speed, if that's possible. Take down all the boxes, and the thing is that if you don't get the XP shards immediately or the coins, if you survive the room, you will just get them at once, because you have like a magnet type of thing, and you get all the stuff that's on the floor. But of course, if you are looking for a quick level up, you just get these XP shards as soon as possible, because they might give you some really cool extra benefit or whatever. Okay, so let's go with the critical as well. And hopefully we can, yes, we can complete the level. And now we got the attack speed, extra shards. So we can get like 10 shards, and we can 50 if we take one hard damage, and we got a bunch of blue hearts. So I'm just going to take damage and we get a bunch of cool stuff. Okay, let's just go for another damage and level 8 for the main ability that we are using. So in this case, hopefully we will get the Ascension Crystal. As you can see, we cannot get the red potions. The cause is that we only have like one full red heart, and we haven't got damaged to that, so we cannot get those potions. But if we survive the room, the potion will be converted into something else, if I remember correctly. So this is also a really neat feature. So now enemies are getting faster. So let's try to focus a bit. Of course, they are getting gradually harder to take down and a bit more cunning and clever. So, of course, taking damage is kinda inevitable in a way, but the amount, that is important. Okay, so let's just go there. Really good. So critical as rare, and also XP area, and I think XP is great. So damage increase, cooldown increase, and duration increase. You know, let's just get some duration, because it is also really great. With that, we are almost at level 10, get some damage. And the next reward is the Ascension Crystal. I kind of missed that. On the upper right corner, we can see the next rewards and the floor rewards. Oh boy, okay, so learned something new by recording the video. So always keep your eye on the upper right corner, because there is the corruption level. If that one is increasing, well, we are having a harder time to survive. But also, as well, you can see the actual floor reward, and we can see the next reward for the stuff, which is really great. Okay, you know, increase attack speed. Now we have 60% increase attack speed, which is really cool. Area, experience, and you know, let's just go with damage. So now we are kind of working towards the fully surviving type of build. So I'm just trying to increase my chances of survival. Could we get like area? So can I increase the area of my attacks, by the way? I'm not exactly sure, because this one is not an AoE. This one is like a bunch of single target hits. But maybe with the area increase, I'm not exactly sure about this. Maybe we can get like more enemies into the cone, or like the circle of the skill. I'm not exactly sure. But of course, let's click tab, and we can go with the Ascent Crystal. So laser plushie is at maximum. So what we can do is, when colliding with an enemy, lasers have a 10% chance of splitting into another laser. Lasers can now curve at greater angle. I like to go with the split, because it sounds really great. Armory and relic roll, another relic, or obtain a weapon. Let's just go and get a weapon. And this is the Queen of Draugr, the other like boss here. So based on my experience, it's kind of easier to take her down. Here's the spinning stuff. So we just try to hug it, so we are not getting damaged. And as you can see, we can go through the puddles and her body. So this is kind of risky, but we can get rid of that, or just get out of the way of the damaging zone in this case. But of course, she's just getting much faster after a while, using the same type of attack, just like the king, smaller bubbles. And of course, not seeking the enemy, just spinning around the boss. Now she's going to do the other stuff again. Oh no, same one. Okay, let's just get away. Oh boy. I just dashed into the enemies. They're kind of relentless. And of course, the great thing is that if you don't take down the boss, but still survive the timer, you still completed the level, which is really, really great. Okay, let's just go XP stuff, and we need some duration increase. So now we got a new relic, wooden crossbow. It fires heavy arrows that damage enemies and cause bleeding. We are not really dealing with bleeding at the moment. Boomerang, and we know these, so let's just corrupt and let's see what happens. So this is a slingshot. Shoot stones that bounces off enemies. This is an active relic we can choose, but it is going to increase the stuff. So the corruption level is going up. So XP room, miscellaneous room. Let's go for a nice random reward. Increase projectiles. And let's just blast. Okay, so floor 11. We have to survive a minute. So let's see if this was a good idea or not. And after we die or complete the tower, the level for the helping god will increase, and we have like different types of effects. But if we press Q, we can check out what the god does. So like press Q, and what they do is paralyzed enemies receive 20% more damage, and on level 2 we will have something extra, and I press X, we will see different types of new information. Increase deity's affinity level to unlock new abilities. So if we increase that, I'm pretty sure we will have like extra abilities, which is really, really great. So like combining those deities with the different characters and different builds, so we have like almost endless possibilities, which is really great in a game like this. Okay, 60 seconds to survive. Let's just go around, get the XP shards, get something cool. Of course, these are the corrupted ones, which are increasing our things. So maybe not corrupted, maybe the hex that we are picking up. I still kind of mix some of those terminology, so sorry about that. Blue heart, extra coins, and if an enemy is killed by critical, there is a 1% chance of a gold coin drop. 1% chance, I don't know. Let's just get more coins, and in this case, we can get some cool stuff later on. Obtain one relic of your survivor's constellation when completing the room. Okay, this is a great idea, because I think we need this. Extra projectiles from the slingshot, because extra projectiles are always great. And seemingly, this effect of this hex is being carried over between rooms. Really great idea. Other types of elite enemies also appearing, some chests. Extra projectiles, definitely need those. So of course, that in the previous version, or the main version of the game, the maps are kinda endless. So we were able to go around a bunch and just run, kite those enemies, but these rooms are not endless, so maybe that's just running around and trying to flee from every enemy without dealing damage is not a viable option, which is really great, because for some reason I get bored of like almost infinite levels, so this was a good idea. Maybe I remember wrongly that this game does not have like almost infinite levels. If I am saying like, you know, inaccurate things, let me know, and I'm sorry about that. So delicious potion. When hexing an enemy, you have a 5% chance, not 50, of gaining 2.5% damage for 2.56 seconds. Pretty specific. Hexes all enemies after reviving. Obtaining this relic will grant you a revive and cursed plague. You randomly hex nearby enemies. I really like to survive more, so I just get like an angry heart, and we got like a revive. Let's go to the relic room. So extra great stuff, more projectiles, and of course with these veins we can get like extra corruption shards. So with those we can upgrade the already existing ones, and of course in the game there are a bunch of like skins for the gods, which I really like, and now we can get like new ones for the already existing ones, and of course skins for the newly introduced characters as well. I really hope that we can get like a cool skin for Lili really soon. I like the basic one, but for some reason in most of the games I just have this urge to use a skin if I have it. I really like character skins. This is why I stopped playing like MOBAs and, you know, paladins and whatever, because I kinda had unhealthy amount of skins. So yeah, don't feed the machine if you can. But of course, in this game, skins are unlocking truly based on progression and completing different types of challenges, so this is a really, really great way to get new skins. Okay, so room reward. Bait that attracts enemies. If a hexed enemy is hexed again, it receives 5% of its current health as damage, and you gain gold every almost 50%. You know, let's just go with the broken crystal because we are hexing a bunch. And let's go for shopping because finally we can spend our hard-earned gold, and we got a bunch. So let's see. Critical. Yes, please. When taking damage, you create a poison explosion. We are not dealing poison damage at the moment. Ice potion, which gives us an ice heart, and if it goes down, we freeze every enemy around us. Grants a blue heart. It disappears. Really great. Let's just, you know, do the really nice rerolls. Critical. It also nerfs a random stat. No problem. Enemies won't be immune for status effects anymore. Are they immune for status effects at the moment? I'm not sure. When inflicting critical damage to an enemy while it's having maximum health, the critical does additional ×3 damage. Definitely, please. Let's just reroll again. Blue heart damage while you have at least 1 blue heart. We got a bunch of those, so cool idea. And restores a red heart. Attract all, you know, let's just keep the money because hopefully we can do something great with that. And this is a boss room. So crit effect of the slingshot and queen or king. King of Draugr. So now we get a bunch of health and we also have a revival. So, you know, fingers crossed that hopefully we can take down this guy. You know, this is just a normal version of the game. So imagine like hard or even like expert or whatever. But of course, the time you reach expert, you unlock a bunch of extra coolness for the tower, so you have like a relatively easier way to solve those and take down the enemies, but still a really nice challenge. Okay, so let's increase movement speed so we can get away from the baddie. Oh boy, of course, projectile shooting guy, big like green projectile, awesome. Okay, so we need those hexed potions, you know, not potions, XP shards. Hex potion would be great. Okay, can we just dash through those laser lines? But I'm pretty sure not, because we are not teleporting, we are dashing, so we are physically touching those. And the king will be dead. Awesome. Really nice. So upgrade relic. Damage. Okay, let's just increase the damage. And corruption orb. Conquer Skada Tower in normal mode or higher with Lili. Awesome. Big tentacles. Oh, okay. For some reason I thought this tower is higher. Ah, okay. I kind of mixed those with the amount of stuff that we can unlock. Oh boy. Okay, I just have to put some message on the screen where I said this is 50. It's 15, not 50. Okay, so corruption orb and a bunch of shards. Let's see what we can do with this. So the rewards at the beginning of the room now appears with an extra common upgrade stat. Start your run with 0 gold plus per every level. Killing a boss grants you gold. Increase by 1 the reward options of leveling up. Pretty blasty. At the start of a run, you can choose from all the survivors' weapons. Oh boy. That's really great, and an extra door will appear, teleporting you from floor 3 to floor 8. You get random rewards. Awesome. So we only have like 1 corruption shard. So start with gold. Start with beginning a room appears with extra common upgrade stat. You know, let's just go with that. And I'd like to upgrade some of my existing ones if that's possible. You heal extra. We can only remove this. This can be removed only, so let's upgrade this. Now we are being healed for 3 half red hearts, and if we have like a full HP, you get 1 blue heart. in case you have maximum health to get +1 revive if you have none. Oh boy, this is pretty blasting. So let's go with Lili and the skins. Conquer any realm 5 times with Lili and exchange 3 gold Nuki badges to unlock the skin. Okay, so there was floor 15, but seemingly there are more floors, so maybe I am not understanding something. Maybe like the next difficulty? Phase 35 floors. Oh boy, I just don't read, guys. I forgot how to read. So, okay, the normal version is 15 floors. The hard version is 35 floors. Really great. And reach level 150 or higher with any survivors, and this is guards. As you can see, my survivors are like level 7 something 8 with Amaranth, so okay, so guard can wait, in my opinion. Okay, so I think this summarizes really nicely how Remnant of Corruption DLC is working for Nordic Ashes. If you wanna play something really cool, which is a roguelite horde survival with a bunch of really nice relics, upgrade options, combinations, and now with an ascending tower with more difficulties, more levels to conquer, a bunch of cool new characters, skins, weapons, all the cool stuff, Remnant of Corruption just came out yesterday, and it goes for a really nice price, which is €4.50, which I think is really great, and this is introductory price, so minus 10%. If you wanna have a chance to get code for a full game, check out my members only posts, because I'm posting a key which was given to me by Knoxville Studios. Thank you very much once again, and for the key for the DLC. For today, I was the Alchemist, and I'm seeing you with many more awesome indie game gameplays extremely soon. Take care.